Hi, Tom Cole, the coach for Buckeye Cable System and BCSN. Great privilege and honor to be here with the outstanding head football coach of St. Francis de Sales, Coach Hedden. Coach, we've got a lot to get to. Your Southview opener, I think it's one of the great openers in northwestern Ohio. Every year we look forward to it on BCSN. You had another classic game in your opener there.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a measuring stick for each program. I told Coach Mazies before the game, this really gives you an idea where you're at, and it's been a battle, like you said, for the last 3 years I've been involved in it. The first year we had to convert a couple fourth downs, go 80 yards, hit the game-winning touchdown. Last year they came back and scored to make it 21-18. We ran the clock out. And again, this year, we felt like we were in a position to win the game at the end. And unfortunately, a call that went against us, prevented us from being 1st and 10 on the 17, with a minute 57 left in the game. So
that's a great segue, Coach. You handled that so well. I know you were upset. I know what you put into it. I know what the kids put into it. I know what that's like. But you handled that so well because the refs are fantastic. They do a great job. Without them, we don't have a game. But we did have a good look at it on our cameras, and it would be nice one of these days when the game is on TV, if it's a critical call like that one was, that you could go over and take a look. Not saying we'd get it. We might miss it, but we did have a good look at it, and it might have just been another. Somewhere down the road, it would be nice if we could go to that sometime and they could take a look.
I agree. And I think it's something the NFL, obviously, they're supposed to be the best referees. That everybody can find for them, and they make mistakes. The college guys make mistakes, and again, I don't envy being a referee. I think it's a very tough position,
tough job
to be in. But in a bang call like that, you'd hope that that maybe down the road you can have something that the game isn't taken away. It's obviously.
Yep. And Warrensville Heights, I want to take you to that game. Thursday Night Live, thank you so much for allowing us to do that. It was an incredible experience for us, and you guys were great. And they're going to win some games this year. They're going to help you with playoff points. They won their opener. They've got some real good athletes. They got to get a punt snapper.
Yeah.
You don't realize how important the kicking game is until you don't have that guy.
That is true. That is true.
And but was interesting the Commissioner Dan Ross, I interviewed him before the season started. One of the new rule changes, as you know, the 30-point differential, that if you get up by 30, they run the clock, and that happened in your game, plus a bus being late, plus a lightning delay. So, and you're quoting in Corso's sports section in the Blade, I thought was classic. He said, I thought I was in an episode of The Twilight Zone.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, we got there, we're ready to go. We have a set itinerary, how we want to do things, right down to the minute, and we're out there warming up. Next thing you know, it's their buses are late. So we put everybody in the locker room, try to, go through a routine in there, keep them off their feet, keep them from dancing with the music in the locker room, that kind of thing, and then come back out, and sure enough, we get in the second quarter, and there's a lightning strike. So we have to regroup, and it's really the new rules is it's a half hour from the last thunder or lightning, so there was more that took place afterwards. So it ended up being about a 45-minute delay, and then we went back into halftime. So it was interesting. But the 30-point, like you said, I tried. The one time we could have went for 2 to try to get up by 30.
Right.
I debated in my mind, is that the right thing to do? And then we just kicked the extra point. But obviously that's a factor when it comes to the high school game now.
Coach, I also want to ask you, you handle things so well. You had a player, had a terrible situation, Keontae Johnson, and he's going to be fine. We interviewed him. At that Thursday ball game. But I had a similar situation as a coach, and when that happens, I found I looked at the game differently. I looked at my players differently. I looked at my family differently. It does change you in some ways. Talk about that a little bit from your perspective.
Well, I've been in coaching for a long time, and I've never gotten that phone call at 3 in the morning that one of your players had been in, shot. It's a foreign language to me, and to be down there, during the middle of the morning, with one of your players that I've spent a ton of time with, Keontae. He's a kid that needed help in the beginning, and we've had a lot of conversations, and I try to guide him to do the right things. He happens to be at the wrong place, and it is a life-changing event because, puts everything in perspective.
Yes.
Somebody would have told me Keontae was going to start the day one at our school that morning on July 11th. I would have said, there's no way. I was hoping he was going to be there second semester. I was hoping he was going to be there.
Right.
But he was there, and he's got a smile on his face. And that's the one thing about Keontae Johnson. I knew he was going to be strong. I knew he was going to battle, and that's what he did. He battled through this, and it was absolutely remarkable that he was there the first day of classes, and he still has the smile on his face. And you're right, it's a game. At the end of the day, the one thing I'm trying to teach in our program at St. Francis is about life. It's about doing the right things in life, doing the right things in the classroom, and then carrying that over to the football field. And this has definitely brought our team closer together. And they understand that, at any time the game can be taken away from you. Value what you have and continue to work in everything you do in all aspects of life.
Coach Hedden, on behalf of Buckeye Cable and BCSN, we're so proud of the job that you're doing at St. Francis. You're there for all the right reasons, doing all the right things with the kids, and that's the most important job there is in athletics. Coach, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
All right, Chris.
Yep.
Tom Cole, the coach for Buckeye Cable System and BCSN.